question. I really appreciate the opportunity to put it out there. So, um, I've done a lot of fights over my 25 plus years, and I was very fortunate. The ABC has me as a certified referee instructor. So I go around all over the world, when they sign me to teach classes to wherever we're working, whether it's in the United States or last year I taught in the Dominican Republic and Japan,
Oh,
all
nice.
over the place.
Nice.
And we try to, teach everybody the standards, give them a good foundation, whatever. But I was getting phone calls constantly from referees, and I appreciated it. Hey, I had this situation. What do I do? So we're very fortunate in today's world. They could send me a video because the stuff's usually on YouTube. So I worked through the scenario with the guys, and I try to explain the mindset to be looking at. Unfortunately, it's really sad. I'll tell you. I'm going to go to the right a little bit. Tell you different.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
A lot of referees come into being a ref from different positions. I came in through the front door. I didn't know anybody. I applied. It took me a couple of years. I got into a class. The class was a 3-year program with the California State Athletic Commission. I had unbelievable referees. Marty Denkin, Lou Filippo, Pat Russell, James Jenkins, all these
I'm in Pat Russell.
teaching us, and they were grading us, and so I was very fortunate. But like anything else, you could be someone important's nephew in Nebraska. I'm just using that as an example, Iowa, whatever, and they put you down as a judge. And 2 weeks after, never doing anything, you're judging fights, and sooner or later they throw you in the ring and you're reffing. And maybe they did some things, but they don't have a good foundation a lot of times. They really don't have a good foundation. And you'd be surprised, and I'm just going to give you an example. The Gervonta Davis against Roach fight. I can't tell you, not only me, some of the executive officers, we were talking and we realized the more need for training. I can't tell you how many of the refs called me up and wanted to show me what they knew. And they go, when they don't know, let me tell you, when they don't know shit, they'll go, what did you think about that? But when they think they got it, they'll call me up and say, that guy this is what the guy should have done. Right? You understand the difference?
Yeah.
In this case, I can't tell you how many calls I got, and everybody was telling me that when the trainer wiped Gervonta's head, came up onto the apron, they go, that should have been an immediate disqualification. I can't tell you how many refs said, that's not an immediate disqualification. The only immediate disqualification on the books is if an intentional foul causes an injury and the injury stops the fight. The guy who did the intentional foul is disqualified. Everything else is up to your judgment as a referee and a referee's discretion. And in that scenario, we're getting the word out there. We're trying. The philosophy that we have, and when you've done a lot of fights, you get in trouble and you learn this philosophy. We don't want to punish the fighters for the action of the corners. I would have removed him from the corner, fined him, had his license taken away before he gets it. If he ever when he comes back, he has to appear before that local commission to explain himself, and he loses half of his purse or something like that for that night. But disqualification really isn't the answer. The people came to see a fight, and you shouldn't disqualify the fighter over what the trainer did.
Right.
Does that make sense? So it's your philosophy, your mindset, the way you look at things, and your understanding of it. What was the original question again? I got so freaking...
So like, what is the protocol or like the steps, whatnot, into becoming a referee, and also speaking about your academy, if I'm not mistaken, that you have going on.
You're asking me about my school.
Yes.
I diverted. So with all these phone calls and all these people saying stuff to me that I'm not trying to insult them or anything like that, but they don't have the understanding of the weight on their shoulders of what you're carrying when you step into the arena on a world championship fight. Like I said, the promoter spends a lot of money, a lot of things, a lot of gears in place, a lot of people, a lot of movement. They don't come to see us disqualify people. So with all this input I was getting from referees who wanted to, show me, hey, and not only me, other referees, they were calling other referees too, and people want to disqualify people. Referees want to take points right away. Anyway,
Mm.
we realized that there was a need for a school. Boxing is the only sport that we really don't have like a season all year round. It's boxing. And how do people get their knowledge of what rules changed and what's going on? So because of that need, I put together a program. Actually, got the program from Big John McCarthy. You guys know who he is from the MMA world.
Uh,
I heard that name before though.
Sound familiar?
Uh, Probably the most brilliant combative sports mind I've ever known. He's one of the guys who wrote the rules. He was in the beginning with with MMA when it started. A brilliant guy in a lot of things, but especially in combative sports. He went up to do a seminar in Vancouver, and then they loved the 3-day seminar he had, and they said to him, "We want you to do one on boxing." And he goes, "Well, I can't do it, but I got a guy for you." And he told me, he goes, "Hey, do this seminar for them." He gave me his outline, and I plugged in a boxing seminar into a 3-day course with certifying the guys. And it's just taken off. And we have this, it's called Soul Arbiter. People can go online and check out everything about it. Soularbiter.com, SOLEARBITER. And like I was telling you, I got some wonderful people assisting me with it now. Probably, in my opinion, the best referee in the world today is Tom Taylor. He's one of the instructors.
I met him at the hotel. Nice guy,
Oh,
really
yeah.
nice guy.
Russell Mora. How many
Oh,
Canelo
yeah.
fights? He did Tyson Fury, Wilder 3. He did Canelo. He did Benavidez. Every fight you can imagine, Russell did. The three of us, we got this guy Ed Calantos, who's a really great referee too in California, a little less known, but he has a really analytic mind. He brings a lot to the table for us. But between the four of us, we have over 3,000 fights that we draw from.
Yeah.
Over 300 world title bouts. And I got to tell you, any referees, you guys will get a kick out of this. Here's the mindset. They referee world title fights the same way they would a 4-rounder. You can't. You can't. You got to know the rules, but you got to know the practical application of the rules. And anyway, we got this school going. It's 3 days in Las Vegas this year. It's a great school, not only for referees who are beginning, but the more seasoned referees are going to get a real review and build up of their foundation, things they might have missed because they came in because they were somebody's nephew. They'll get a foundation like they never had it before, and they'll get a mindset of looking at stuff and understanding a way bigger picture than doing a 4-rounder, and it'll help them survive and make some really good decisions. But it's also a fantasy camp. We had 4 people last year. We had 62 people in the room last year, and 4 of them were just fans that wanted an experience to be with boxing people for over the 3-day weekend, and they enjoyed themselves. So it's August 29th, 30th, 31st in Las Vegas at the Orleans Hotel and Resort. 2 days in a classroom, 2 10-hour days in a classroom, watching films, dissecting the films, and questions and answers. And then the 3rd day's in a gym, Barry's boxing gym. We hire 6 fighters to come in, 2 rings to constantly rotating through, and you're put in to handle scenarios like guy gets hit, he gets knocked down, then the fighter hits him when he's down. What do you do? And there's not just one answer. There's 4 or 5.
Oh, man. Nice.
Man.
There's
Nice.
all scenarios all day from 9 to 5.
I
Sounds fun.
honestly, I think I love the sport of boxing, and a
Same.
referee would keep me around the sport. Hey, man, you might see me in class one day. I'm trying to tell you right now. I always want to know what's the process of becoming a ref, and how do you become a ref like yourself at this high level of refereeing? Like, do you start at the bottom, you work your way up, like in all championship fights? So the process, is that something that your school is going to portray? Like you're going to teach you how to start the job of refereeing, or
Absolutely, absolutely. But so
nice?
multi oriented question. How first of all, I sent Eric a flyer from the fight. Hopefully, you can send it to Evins. You guys can't
Yeah, I'll
Yes,
send
send
it
it.
to him.
yes, please do.
Makes it great. If you can't, I
I'll
understand.
send him your contact information as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also a flyer, and you can go to the website and see what it's all about. But
Okay.
me, I got in, like I said, I did a 3-year program that I had to sign a waiver that anything I did wrong, they could, disqualify
Wow.
me, put me out, and I had
Whoa,
no
cutthroat
recourse.
like that.
I had no recourse. And, to tell you guys, if you want to be involved, do you want to be involved with professional boxing as a referee or a judge? You got to get involved. You got
Yeah.
to show your face, find any job that you possibly can, get them to know you, to trust you, which you're already doing it as a cornerman, a licensed cornerman. But it's a process. It's not overnight,
Right.
unless you're somebody important's nephew, and it is overnight.
Yeah.
But with me, right now in the United States, um, I've worked pretty much more fights than anybody in the United States ever, except one guy who's a king of the club shows. This guy's been in about 8 years longer than me. He's out of North Carolina. His name is Bill Clancy. So he's got.
Oh yeah, I know who he
Oh,
is.
he's a native of mine. 'Cause I'm from
Oh, I
Carolina as well.
know.
But other than Bill, there's nobody worked more fights than me, and how I did it. And Bill will tell you the same thing. He's a world class referee. I took any assignment they gave me, I took.
Mm.
And I took the shittiest shows, tough man competitions in neighborhoods that I wanted to carry a piece of me because
Oh,
my car was trouble. And I got booed and I made mistakes along the way in the small club shows and went back and called other referees and said, hey man, this is what happened. What do you do in that situation? I spent hours on the phone learning my craft early on. So
hmm
when I did step into the higher levels of fights, the mistakes I made weren't gross or negligent. Knock
hmm
on the ring. Every fighter I was in the ring with went home to their families and resumed their lives. Thank God. And I'll tell you another one. In 1,152 fights, that's what is that? 2,304 fighters. I never disqualified a fighter. Never.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
In the shittiest fights you can imagine. One of the shittiest fights I ever did was Sakio Bika and Andre Durrell. Andre Durrell. Those guys,
I saw that fight.
their styles was such that it was 1-2 hold, 1-2 wrestle, one punch and wrestle. They were,
Yeah.
but
Pika was a monster.
oh, Bika is a tough dude. Yeah, he got DQ'd by Cortez when he hit. Was it Joe? He got hit, disqualified for hitting the guy on the ground that was out of it and cracked him and just put him over. Sakio is a tough dude. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But my point is, you gotta earn your bones. And I learned this. I learned this mentality. And Tom Taylor is the same way, and Russell Moore was the same way. That's why we hang together. When I was a fireman, I applied for and went to the busiest firehouses in Los Angeles. I worked in Hollywood, downtown, and South Central Los Angeles, where
Mm.
the
Whoa.
call load was
Can
20 to
imagine.
25 runs a day. So you're getting a lot of experience that carries you through. And if you back up that experience with practical knowledge from someone who's been there and done that, you're going to be very successful. Well,
Nice.
probably real successful anyway.
Nice. Man, I'm telling you, today is my birthday, and I was like, I got
Happy
to get
birthday,
Happy
on.
man.
birthday, Evans.
Still
I
young,
got
Evans.
to get
Still
on.
young.
I was like, I'm not missing this opportunity to talk to Jack Reiss.
Thank
This
you.
is history. We'd have made history, bro. I'm telling you right
¿Cuántos
now.
años? ¿Cuántos años tiene usted, bro?
60.
You
60.
look about 40. It's
Thank
crazy.
you. Thank you. Hey, I'm gonna have my ref stripes in a minute. I've always wanted to do the refereeing. Even before I got into boxing, I was a track and field guy. I competed with Carl Lewis in that era. And
Wow.
I was top 12 in the world, 27 feet. I did that for years before I got into the conditioning level of boxing. And when I got in, I was like, I like the refereeing before I even got into the conditioning, but nobody would give me information on how to get in. That's crazy.
Well, a great place to start also, if you can get a job with a commission, that's going to really help you. because they're going to get to know you and all that stuff. But you don't want to walk in cold.
Right.
And
No.
so I think a great thing to do is get involved with USA Boxing. Start out as a timekeeper, then shadow the judges, let them
Yeah.
teach you how to judge, then judge, shadow the referees, get in there. Now you got some. Listen, being a ref is not like being a fighter. The
Right.
referees you see that move around the ring like a fighter, they're all about themselves. They want attention to themselves. You know what the job is? Managing chaos while trying to remain invisible. Which by
Yeah.
you're supposed to
Yeah.
walk and stay the hell
Yeah.
out of the way.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do in a fight. And the
Yeah.
best referee fight that you could do is when nobody knows who ref the fight when it was over.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So again, you
Makes
want
sense.
to get involved. You want to be involved. Get involved some way. Start showing an interest, and like I said, USA
USA
Boxing.
boxing. Okay. Well,
USA box.
I'm gonna start right there. Look, I can't get advice from anybody better, so that's where
Hey,
I'm going to
that's
You
true.
start.
know any
Everybody coming
referee?
to
You
him.
guys know refs? You guys know refs or judges?
Yeah, I know. I
Mm,
know some. I know some here in Houston.
he would know.
Yeah, but
Texas?
I that climb up. I'm ready for the climb, but I'm going to be around the sport for a long time. I ain't really. I'm a fan of the sport as well.
Well,
So
the other things you could do, if you really listen, man, you got to invest in yourself,
yeah,
either time or you got to invest some moolah to go
yeah,
to these things. So the ABC has an annual convention. Their convention is coming up in New Orleans in the
mhm.
middle of the summer. You can look it up, Association of Boxing Commissions, and you can learn all about it. Start meeting everybody. Take the seminars that they're teaching for referees and judges.
Will you be out there?
Russell Mora got the assignment this year. He's teaching the referees, and I think Steve Weisfeld is teaching the judges. You
Wow,
can't get a better guy. He's more. He's working.
man.
Nobody.
Did,
Hey,
Nobody's
that's
ever
only a few
judged more
hours for
fights than
us.
him. I know.
New Orleans ain't far.
Yeah,
yeah,
and Steve is like is if not the top, one of the top judges in the world, and he's been for a long time. He was an HBO analyst
yeah,
before that. So
yeah,
you take a
yeah,
seminar
Hmm.
from a guy,
yeah,
but you got
yeah,
to put your hand in a lot of things to figure out where it's going to settle and where it's going to work for you. Sometimes it's not a straight line, but you'll
You
get to
gotta
it.
zigzag around.
You got to get your foot in the door, and you got to start showing up to these things.
yeah.
And I recommend doing it.
Well, it's already on my table, so I got some stuff lined up coming up real soon. I can't really share, but I do want to be a ref. I will be a ref.
We got the soul arbiter litmus test, we call it. If somebody comes up with an idea, it's got to pass all four of us, for us to accept it. So there's so many different approaches to the situations that come up: headbutts, rabbit punches, punches
Hmm.
when guys are down. Whatever it is, you
Hmm.
can't. There's guys, and this is what we're going to teach you. This is what we're going to teach you, basically, in a nutshell. You got to know the rules. There's people out there that preach, you have to know the rules. You have to know the rules. We teach, yeah, you got to know the rules, but you got to know the practical application of the rules. It's
Hmm.
not the letter of the law, it's the spirit of the law. Because things that happen in that ring, like things that happen in the street with police officers, just say, it's not black and white. It's gray sometimes. And
Hmm.
you gotta take the situation that's really confusing and do what's fair and what's just and make it right. And we're gonna give you that mindset. We're gonna give you a greater understanding than about boxing refereeing that you ever had.
Cool. I
Sound like
like
a
that.
plan. Sound like a plan, sir.
I'll definitely keep
You're
that in
gonna see
mind.
this. This will be like a head start for you guys like you wouldn't believe. But
Okay.
you got to invest.
Understand.
Absolutely. You're right. You're right. Hmm. Mm.
I have one favor. If it's possible, you could do it. Um, you mentioned to me 2 days ago you were at the fundraiser with Sugar Ray Leonard. Is it
Yeah.
possible you could get a word for us to get a chit chat with Sugar Ray?
I don't know him that well, and I got to tell you something, Eric. I apologize. It was 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have, but that guy, he is the nicest guy in the world. I don't know how he does it. His immune system must be the greatest immune system in the world. He shakes everybody's hand. They're talking this close to his face, and he don't get sick, I guess. I don't know how he does it. But everybody who approached him that day, he stopped, spent time with, took pictures with. He's just that real guy.
Yeah.
But I do not have any access to these guys, and I can't do it. And even the fighters, especially, it's a conflict of interest to me to
Yeah.
contact them. Yep, so
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said I said Sugar Ray Leonard, he has that full balance, but that motherfucker was mean in the ring.
a light switch would go off on his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A different person. And I was watching the other day, Hagler, Leonard. I think it was the 12th round or the 4th round. I can't remember what it was specifically for a purpose. I forgot how freaking fast Sugar Ray was.
Yeah.
He was so fast. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Accuracy, and you're blocking here. He's going to the body. You drop one of your hands and go to your head. It was so smooth and fast.
Yeah.
He hit with good power too. Yes, that's Tommy Hearns.
Yeah. And we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him on. Listen, we got
We're gonna
Jack
find a way.
Reese. We got Jack Reese.
Reese, yeah.
You can get it. Look, bro, I'm telling you what I know. Our podcast is very new, but we're not new to the boxing game. But to be blessed again with your presence, man, is a gift. That's one of the best birthday gifts I had. I'm good to go with
So
that.
happy birthday! I'm glad you feel that
Thank you.
way.
Thank
But
you.
so now you want to repay the favor when you got 100,000 plus viewers. Get me back on so we could talk about that school and maybe get some
Oh,
people.
Oh yeah, but
definitely,
that
definitely,
man, look,
definitely.
it's on. It's
How many
done.
people you got liking you and viewing right now?
Done.
How many?
I don't know. I can't see.
Wait, what?
No, how many viewers? What's your viewership?
Oh, right now we're just recording. I'll end up editing and then we'll end up posting it.
But when you put it out there, you've done shows with podcasts
Hmm.
before.
Yeah, you get some
Most
that get
amount of viewers you got or
yeah, I've
subscribers.
gotten what do you call it? I got some fighter out of Canada, Eye of the Tiger. He's been our best one. There have been 3,000
There you go.
people watching that. Yeah.
It's a start.
We
Yeah,
had
that's
another
good.
one. We had Raul El
Marquez.
Diamante.
Marquez.
Marquez, yeah, we had
El
him. That one
Diamante.
hit. Yeah, I think that one hit about 15 or 1,700
I
views. Yeah.
refereed him against Jermaine Taylor
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
of Dignity Health Park. I love El.
Wow.
He's a great guy, man. Great
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, he's
real
a
nice
great guy.
guy. Real
Commentator
nice guy.
too, part
Real
time.
nice.
Great commentator too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his kid's doing real well.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we went
kid's
to
gonna
see
be
him.
good.
Yeah,
So
I
like
went to
a
see
guy
him
like
about 2 weeks ago.
Raul might be able to get you a connection to Sugar Ray.
Yeah, I'll give him a shout. Yeah, because we chat with him almost on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you a funny story. So I went to text you the other day, and I typed in Eric Gomez, and I started the text. Oh no, I was gonna call you.
You saw the Golden Boy,
Yeah.
the Golden Boy one. Yes.
I'm sitting judging the other night at the Sugar Ray thing, and Eric Gomez comes up. He goes, "Jack, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you." I said, "Eric, it was a butt dial. I'm sorry." And I know another guy named Eric Gomez, and he goes like this. So the fight was over. I ran over to him and I showed him, look, him and I were texting. He's got a podcast. You know what he said to me? He goes, "That's the fucking guy who's probably ruining my credit."
Hey, hey, give me. Look, every time when I was all right. So check this out. When I was in middle school, and technology was growing still. So I'm 32. So we're talking 2008. I was in, I think, either 8th or 9th grade, so maybe high school. I remember Googling my name because we're
Dude,
young. We want to see what's out
me
there on
and
our name.
Evan, we got underwear older than you, dude.
Man.
So yeah, I would Google my name to see what would pop up, but I wouldn't Google with my middle name, and it would pop up Eric Gomez. I'm like, what I got to do with that? And I look and I search him up, and I did some digging with him, and apparently him and Oscar were like really close friends growing
Oh
up,
yeah, yeah.
and now he's part of the Golden Boy. I think he's either VP or somebody
Absolutely. Vice
in
president.
his
Doing Oscar
promotion
the whole
company.
20 years.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I know he was there at his Puerto Rico camp when he was about to fight. I think he was training for the Mayweather fight. I remember seeing him on the HBO special
I
that
was
he
I
used
was
to
at
do.
that fight. I went as a fan.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually thought I felt like Oscar wasn't sure about his own conditioning in that fight because he had Floyd up against the ropes, I think, in round 6, and he was doing
Yeah.
he was having his way with him, and he just stopped punching and backed off. He
Mm-hmm.
won't punch himself out. It was weird, but Oscar was
But
another guy, fast and accurate, man.
but you
But
know what? They honestly, I'm glad we're doing this podcast because I really want to highlight a lot more conditioning because if you get tired in the fight, that's your ass. You gotta be able to have conditioning to finish a fight and to I mean, you know, as a fighter, when your shoulders get tired, you can't even do this. It's the
true.
worst.
Can't
So
lift your arm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
This is my time, Evans. I remember this. It wasn't even my shoulders got tired. When I was sucking wind, you can't even lift your arms. You're just so concerned with getting the oxygen. You can't even lift your arms. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're swollen and you're backing up, trying to waste time and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. You
Um,
gotta have the cardio. And you know, referees gotta stay in shape. And when you see these guys, if you're worrying about your legs hurt or you're tired, you're distracted. You're not watching the fight. Guys
yeah.
gotta stay in shape.
Yeah. That's good.
You know,
Man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if you
I want
take
to
up
show you
too
something.
much of your
You
time,
asked
but
me
man.
about you asked me about, you know, how do you do it and stuff like that. This is a book that I put together from day one with everything in it. And
Okay.
I'll just show you. This is my see where I'm at. So this is my
Wow.
reminder of what to do, right? And then all the things I used to take this thing to tell me what I won't forget to bring to the fights. Boxing shoes, 2 boxing shirts with, you know, everything I had in it. So it was a check thing instead of leaving my bow tie home or something like that, right? All the way to all kinds of great sayings by people, quotations. You know, even got Vince Lombardi in there and Colin Powell and all kinds of stuff. And then all of these things that I'm showing you now is
Wow, you
20.
still had notes in there.
What's that?
You still had some sticky paper in there for notes.
Yeah, because I'm always adding notes. 25 and a half years worth of little things that I learned at the fights, and I wrote them down, and I can keep going, but
Wow.
part of my preparation before every fight that I ever did, and I can say this with confidence, before every single fight I ever did, when that book was only 2 or 3 pages, or to now to where it's like 50, I
Uh-huh.
reviewed those and I visualized. It reminded me of fights, of things that happened, and I visualized the right thing to do, and that's how I got my mind into it. That book is 25 years old. I'm holding it together with duct tape.
About as old as me.
Okay?
Wow.
So that's
Man, what a
we love the sport. And you know, I'll give you one more thing. You know, people don't understand boxing referee, and they think we make a lot of money. We don't. We all have other jobs, but it's a privilege to be in there, and it's just the kind of thing that it's always on your mind if you really love it. And you know, so people ask me, you know, what's it like to be a boxing referee? I said, you know, I'm living a referee's life. I go, what's that? I go, well, it takes me away from my family, takes me away from when my kids got sick or things happened in my family. I was out of town doing fights. Takes me away from events that my family was having, weddings and things like that, and funerals. I missed it because I had a fight. And like when people say to me, well, what else? I go, well, when I'm in, say, church, I'm thinking about boxing, thinking about refereeing. And I'm with my family sitting around. I'm thinking about boxing. I'm looking at the
yeah.
zone on my phone when I'm with my family. And it's constantly on your mind because it's like, it's a passion and a love. And
Yeah.
there's guys that aren't like that. There's guys that think it's just a part-time job. It's a part-time
Right.
job with a full-time commitment.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you get the respect because when your name comes up, people like, yeah, we won't get jacked because then you got guys that like he's like he not gonna give you no fucking break, so don't think you're gonna get breaks. So no.
It's to be fair. That's all I'm
Yeah,
concerned about. They
yeah,
walk away saying,
yeah.
hey, he didn't
'Cause
cheat for anybody. It was fair. That's it.
I remember them talking about the referee for the fight, and it's like I said, fuck that. Jack Reese ain't gonna let no
No,
motherfucking hold.
and Regis had a fair fight, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. And I was,
I like that guy. Nice guy.
yeah, good,
Very
good kid.
cool dude. I like
Yeah.
him.
I'm stoked, bro. I'm stoked. You're gonna make me go back. I'm gonna give me a glass of whiskey tonight. That's gonna be my other cat.
Hey, it's your
But this
birthday.
interview, this is the top of the game, bro. I listen. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate your
Yes, you
time.
do.
We appreciate the contributions you've given to the sport of boxing, and you continue to do that. And I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that the school of boxing or referee that you have, it's going to be top notch. And if you guys
It's
are
gonna
out
blow up.
there and you want to be refereeing, know the rules of the game, Jack Reiss, we're gonna be posting his information about the school, the big events coming up, and you might see me as a ref one day.
Listen, if you want to come, again, what I told you, contact me directly. I'm going to give you a
Okay,
different link. Different
okay,
link.
okay.
Last month.
Sounds good.
All
I appreciate
right,
it,
we
man.
appreciate you, man. Thank you,
Thank
All right,
you
sir.
man.
so much.
Anytime.
Thank you so
Appreciate you
much.
guys. Nice to meet everybody again. And
Likewise.
if you ever got any questions, give me a text. We'll hook up on a time on a call. Please give Evans all my information,
I will.
and
Yes.
we'll talk. Okay?
Yeah, and
Thank you, sir.
tell the other Eric. Tell the other
What?
Eric one day I'll reach out to him.
All right.
Take
Take
care,
care.
man.
All right, take care.
And happy
Peace.
birthday.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank